Hello, this is Ken Barron. I'm with the National Association of Black and White Men Together. Gosh, it's been a really great day today. A great meal with Mac, and he just gave me some background on the situation we have in the midterms coming up. We'll talk about that before then. But I want to give a shout out to USC because they're filming us in many, many excruciating details on their wonderful cameras and the like. So it's been a blessing to be able to do that. But down to business, we're going to talk about the Senate for a start off. And Republicans are entering, as you probably know, the midterm with a 53 to 47 majority in the Senate. And that includes two independents that caucus with the Democrats. Now, my husband, bless his heart, tells me we're going to get that. I took a kind of a deep breath on that one because I've always been pessimistic about the Senate because it's bent towards red districts and the senators within the red district. But he tells me it might be okay. There are special elections to permanently fill Ohio seat, and J.D. Vance has vacated the president to be president. And in the Florida case, Marco Rubio left for the Secretary of State. 9 senators are retiring, 5 Republicans and 4 Democrats. That would give you probably a good idea of what's probably open and available. But it's still a difficult task given the fact that the party out of power typically gains ground in the midterms, which is good. So, down below in the comments, tell me whether you think this foolhardy thing that my husband has that will get to the midterm might work. I'm sorry, Mac, but I had to say it. Okay, so what about the House? The House is going to be a lot more optimistic. Both my husband and I think we'll get the House, and I'm very excited about that. We're focusing on that when we do our campaigns on postcards. Yes, postcards are really an effective method of personalizing something and sending it off to your representative. And hopefully, we are in a position where the results from the latest polls are very optimistic, and the nation's political climate is volatile, and much can change between now and November. But at the start of the year, only a small number of seats are seen as genuinely competitive, but they're getting more competitive. And this magnifies the stakes of the individual House races that routinely cost tens of millions of dollars. The clearest Democratic pathway to majority and the power to serve as a check on the President Trump and his agenda is defending the party's most vulnerable incumbents and flipping a handful of Republican held seats. The Cook Political Report rates just 18 seats as a toss up, but 4 held by Democrats and 14 by Republicans. I like those odds, but the map is evolving, and Cook recently shifted 18 races in a positive direction for the Democrats. Of the House's 435 seats, the vast majority, 375, are rated as solid for one party or the other, meaning they are essentially non-competitive. Another 24 races are seen as likely to favor one party, while 18 are in the more competitive lean category. To get to the House majority, Democrats would need to hold on to all of their solid and likely seats, then sweep the 13 seats that lean towards the party and win at least 7 of the 18 toss-ups. Once again, my husband predicts that perhaps we'll get 20 plus seats, which will be on the way to the blue wave, and let's hope that's the case. Now, what about your favorite person, the president? Well, what can we say? Affordability is going to be the big deal. And the latest polls show that 1 year in, the second Trump coalition has unraveled. The major Democratic shifts of the last election have snapped back, and Democrats have regained their usual advantage amongst young, non-white, and low turnout voters who swung over to Trump before. Only 40% of the registered voters say they will approve of Mr. Trump's performance, the poll found. So, my honest hope is you go to the polls, whoever you are, and see if we can get that back to some sanity in the country, and hopefully we'll make a difference. And here we are in a country that's in turmoil. But if you need to talk to people, please write in the comments. Please like us. Please comment on our work. And since I'm representing the National Association of Black and White Men Together, you can certainly go to our website, nabwmt.org. We'd love you to see on Instagram and on TikTok. I think we're in. We're trying. I'm getting coached from the side here on other platforms because there's so many of them. Anyway, thank you so much for listening, and drop us a line.